serious. Serious. She said, we live, you can't stop it. We live, you can't stop it. We are live. She was supposed to hit the other button, but she hit the live button. So
you don't have to call out my mistake. Just move forward before I bust out crying again. Let's get to rolling. You have to call me out today.
Oh my goodness.
Give me some
Hey, Miss Julie, we are on. Miss Julie calling me. We on right now, Miss Julie. We are live. We just hit the button. Well, come on up in here.
Come on, let's do our intro. We got to be timely.
Oh, get ready, get ready, get ready. Here we go, here we go, here we go. Oh, yeah, it's me. It's your boy, the Louisiana Country Boy, along with my beautiful, wonderful, smart, intelligent teacher, co-host, the little Diva.
You say teacher, co-host?
Teacher, co-host, yeah, all of that.
I'm sorry. Well, I'm trying to find me on my Facebook. Why can't I find me?
Because you're not looking for me, you're looking for you.
I know, I'm looking for me. He's so silly. Hold up, y'all. Go ahead. Did you say hello already?
I was trying to, but you cut me off talking about you was trying to find me. And I'm like, I'm right here. You're not trying to find me. You're trying to find you. Welcome one. Welcome all. Two. And I'll say this once more again. And it is with my chest stuck out. I will say this. Welcome. Welcome one. Welcome all. Two. The longest consistently running Monday night podcast. It is the Real Conversation with a twist of humor. And tonight, we are going to deal with some real conversation. We're going to have some real conversation about some real stuff. Tonight, there's a topic that my co-host and I, we tapped on a little bit this weekend while she was going over the business plan for the week, for the night. And I was actually listening.
You just didn't take no notes. It's okay.
I ain't taking no notes, but I was listening. I took mental notes.
What I was going to say was I was happy to see, though, that you were interested because this must be a topic you like because you are part of this world. And so it made me happy to see that you was actually interested.
Yes, there are things that interest me.
I know that. I was happy that one of them was my idea that you were interested.
See, I told you I was going to be serious tonight.
Well, I'm serious enough. I'm serious. But before we get started, I just wanted to introduce because this is Monday, so we usually talk real quick about the weekend. How was your weekend?
Restful. It was raining. It was cold. What did I do? Oh, no. It was restful. But I did get to go out. When was that? Was that Friday or Saturday?
That was Saturday.
Saturday. I did get to go out Saturday. I got invited out by the owner of the Houston Red Storm, which is a semi-pro basketball league that's here in Houston. I got invited out by the owner. So I got to go to the game, watch them play. It was a good game. It was a great turnout. They played a team out of San Antonio, the Alamo All-Stars. It was really, really good. I will say he put me on the spot a little bit there because I wasn't expecting it. He asked me. Well, first he asked me, and I got to introduce the young lady who is in the month of April going to be a guest on the show. I got to introduce her to sing the national anthem. And let me tell you, this girl, young lady, girl, look at him. If I tell you, woo-wee, she could sing. She could sing. Hey, just a side note, I keep hearing all these singers, and I go out. I'm gonna have to maybe the class you can teach old country boy. Do y'all do know Facebook, Instagram? They have TikTok, Hillman TikTok University. So if y'all want to log in and learn some stuff, they have a real university over there. But my co-host is also a teacher and an educator. So I
Not
might
a
have
teacher, but okay.
well, you mean you teach people, don't you?
Do I?
Have you
You know
not
what I
wait a
mean?
minute, have you not had to take over a class?
So
Did
let
you
me take let me explain. Let me explain.
did you stand in front of some students?
Let me explain that though. Because
But did you stand in front?
I cannot be contradictory. I'm fussing about these people with these honorary doctorates, and I say I would never accept one because that's not, I haven't worked for that. So do I sub for 2 to 5 minutes sometimes? Yes, but I am not a teacher. I did not go to
You
school.
sub you
I
what
did
do
not
you
go sit for that hard ass test
but
to
what do you sub
become a
as?
teacher. I sub as a consultant.
Ah!
I'm not gonna take nobody's title for what they went to school for. I stand on it. The people went and took a test to be certified to be a teacher. I
You
do step
sub
in.
as a teacher.
I step in sometimes because my consultants are unavailable to teach their enrichment class. But I'll also say this: I make it very clear that I've never taught, so I ain't doing this for 2 or 3 minutes. So
Oh my goodness.
I've done public speaking at the schools, but I've never taught. But I am an educator.
Okay, well, you're educated. Well, look, I might need, see, I go out here and I hear all these, see, and I know that you have been in the musical industry for
Right.
20, 30 years. You're good at hearing these.
Absolutely.
And I go out there and
I'm
I see
amazing at it. I'm amazing at it.
okay, well, I mean, I'll let you have that part, but
Thank
you know,
you.
I'm just saying.
I just have to make sure.
Well, I mean, it's good. It's good. It's good. It's good. It's good. But I might have to get your intellect because seeing all these people and some of these people don't have people to help guide their career. Do you think that that'd be a good path for me? You think that I could do that?
No, because it wouldn't. Because you should be transferring them to me because that's what I already do.
Oh,
why would you take money out of my?
Well, I'm saying I'm gonna guide their career. I mean, you can manage them, but what else?
I don't want to manage them. You can manage them, but as far as putting them on platform, that's what I love to do. Even though some people weren't appreciative of it, but I'll charge for it now. But you can go out and see them and pass them on to me. And if you want to manage them, cool, you can do that because I don't want to do that.
Well, if anybody's out there looking for a manager, if any singers are out there, singers or performers, and you would like a wonderful manager like mine, look, I'm gonna tell you, when I've had a couple of guests on here, and I taught you this, and I think that you pretty much got it. That when you catch them right then and right there, like you be like, because I ask them in a minute, can I get a job? Can I get, I'm saying if there are any people out there that would like to be like say like, oh, my manager, you had to call my manager the country boy. Well, look. Woo,
they won't be booked with me because I don't do managers. I do one manager.
So you're not gonna book my people. You say you're not gonna book my people.
She's an amazing manager. She ain't trying to kill me. She's nice. She's professional. So I will do Eva the Diva. But otherwise,
so you trying to say you're not gonna manage my people?
No, I'm not gonna manage nobody.
Oh, you're not gonna book my people.
But depending on how you act, how you roll.
I'm putting my people in the spotlight. Well, listen.
Be a hard ass with everybody. No.
Listen. Here's what I'm doing. My people that I manage, and I have my people that I manage, and I have a few of them. I have a whole stable.
But you as the manager, that's gonna be our class on TikTok. You as the manager, though, you don't have to be a hard ass.
I'm not trying. All I'm trying. And listen,
I didn't say you. I didn't say you.
If I bring my people to you, you know why I'm bringing my people to you?
Why?
Because I know that you can put them in the spotlight.
Awesome.
See?
Okay, so let's go back to what I was originally trying to say.
That's how I manage. That's
how they manage too. But they want to talk to you crazy and think they your boss and like they hired you. All I'm saying to you is I will deal with certain people. Like I said, Eva the Diva, Cupid's manager. I will deal with her. She's very professional. She's very
he called me last week.
You let me finish one damn sentence.
He called me. He said, hey, country boy. He said, country boy, I heard that you was in the
Let's get on to our topic since you're not gonna let me talk. Go ahead.
Go ahead. Go don't finish talk about.
Apparently it wasn't important. Let's move on to the next topic. Y'all, today, this last weekend, Country Boy did go to the game. But for me, y'all, Friday I went out with some friends that was actually kind of fun.
Where you go?
I went to 3017. It is a small club that I like to. It's really adult. It reminds you of the old school times. It's free to get in. Drinks are really. I'm not a drinker, but I can get me a wine and it's not $13. So sometimes I like to go in there and I'm kind of on a budget right now, but that's not the only reason I go. Let me pull that back. What they tell the judge? I removed that statement from the record.
Right.
But I went and it was actually nice. It's a nice chill place, but then there's live music. A friend of mine, Thomas Dixon, he plays at Club 3710, which is on at 3710 Emancipation every Friday night. Show kicks off at 9. He plays good little old school music. You can always go to the So You Want to join the So You Want to Dance Facebook group page. And Miss Julie, you got to help Miss Julie. 3710 every Friday. The show kicks off at 8, but Thomas is really good. He has a good band of amazing musicians. So that's that. 2, yes. I've got to say this before we go into the topic because we're on a time limit. On Saturday, so Country Boy don't really like me talking about this, but I'm going to continue to talk about it because it's my life. But y'all know, I've had some death in my family a little bit, so I still am. But a friend of mine, Saturday, she, my house is nice. People always come and say, "Oh, your house is so cozy." Da 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 da. But I am not I never liked curtains. I thought curtains was what we call soulful. I did. I thought it was soulful. I'm just gonna say I thought curtains were soulful. Couldn't understand why people have them in their house. So anyway, when I got the house, the woman that owns it, it's a new build. So I'm the first one here, which I love. But she didn't put no blinds in the house for the people. So I just had these paper type blinds, but they look really tacky after a while. So I was telling my friend, I said, well, I want some blinds, but let's try some shears, which are curtains, but they're up to date and modern and they're sheer. So she amazing. Her name is Yvette. She's so amazing. And when you at a time in your life when you feel very lonely, like nobody's there for you, she came to put the curtains up. We went to the store, chose the curtains, chose the rods, because I don't know how to hang nothing. I am not domesticated. I don't have no man over here trying to put nothing up for me. So I have to move around by myself. So she came and she was my man for the day. She came and she did the measurements. She put the shears up. And if I tell y'all, man, my living room looks so different with just that small change. The shears are beautiful. She did a great job. Man, she did it like so quick. I said, "You're already done?" Then she started talking about, she hammering and said, I didn't hit into the metal. Well, what metal? She said, "What's the metal to hold your house up?" So anyway, so she got that done, and then she put on the ones on the side. Then as we were walking around, she was just moving little things around here, there, and everywhere. Just moving around stuff that I already had just to put it in different places. I was like, look at you. So then we go in my room. We started at 12:30. We didn't finish till 9:30. So we just doing different things. We had lunch. It's just girls' day, which I've always wanted to have as a girls' day. I don't have too many girlfriends, and she spent the day with me. But we went in my bedroom, and we was like, now I want curtains in my bedroom because I like the curtain thing. So we go back to the store and we got some curtains. But then, Country Boy, while we were in the store, there was this beautiful, beautiful, beautiful picture. She is gorgeous. She is so gorgeous. So I said, we got to get it. So we put that in the basket. We put the curtains. So we left, came back. She took the picture I had in my living room down and we put that somewhere else. And she put this big, gorgeous, beautiful picture in my living room. And then she hung up my blinds in my bedroom, and they the blackout curtains too. So I didn't know what time it was yesterday. So I couldn't get up. That's the reason I couldn't get up yesterday. But anyway, so that has been the most amazing Saturday that I've had in such a long time. And the biggest part of that is about, again, I feel lonely. I mean, one, you feel lonely anyway, right? But when someone passes in your life, you do feel lonely. You do feel by yourself. And ain't nobody calling saying, hey, you want to go to lunch? Hey, you want to go to dinner? I take them at a Country Boy, and I was supposed to go to one of my favorite places, Texas Roadhouse. But I reneged because she was over here and we was getting my curtains up. But so thank you, Country Boy, for being willing. And he also called and invited me to the game, but we were doing the curtain thing. But girlfriends is what I meant. I don't have the girlfriends that's calling to say, you want to go to lunch? Want to get your nails done? Want to come hang up your curtains? She did. So she is my friend for life. I just love Yvette Farrell. She is amazing. I don't know how else to thank her. This is a public thank you for keeping me busy all day on a Saturday.
Thank you, Yvette.
Yes, and so that was really great. And I told her I didn't know any other way to thank her for keeping me company all day, hanging up my curtains, making my living room. I'm telling you, I'll go to a hotel and they got curtains. I'll be like, I don't want to stay there because that's old school. This must be an old hotel if they got curtains. Ask my kids because they were with me one time saying they got curtains in there. But then I found out that's a thing. And so I am so loving how it made my living room look. So anyway, y'all, that's what I did on Saturday. It was great. And one last thing before we go on into our topic. It's 8:28. Okay. So today from last night up until today, I had a really tough time. I've been crying since last night, all the way to this morning. I was on my way to work and tears was just falling all the way to work. So I got to work. It took me 45 minutes to get out the car so I could be straight and my eyes wouldn't be, I hate curtains. So my eyes wouldn't be all red, but I had a tough evening and a tough morning. So I got to work. So I got myself together, go inside work. By the time I got to work, I was ready to cry again. So I had to tell one of my amazing consultants, his name is Jalen. And I said, hey, I need you to take over. Miss Trina is having a hard time. I'm not going to make it through the day. So by then I decided I'm going to leave early. I'm trying to speed it up. Get to the other school I was going to go to, and I was orientating. Matter of fact, Yvette's daughter that I hired, I was doing her orientation today, and it was going good. I said, okay, I don't need to go home. I'm in a better mood. I ain't crying. I'm good. One of my coworkers said something that was like really tacky, and so they're with the water again. So by the time my boss called me back, I'm boohooing in the phone. He's like, "What's the matter?" I was like, I'm having a rough day. I'm crying. I miss my daddy. So then he said, what do you need me to do? So I told him what I needed him to do. Then my consultants was trying to console me. My consultants was consoling me. And then I finished my orientation and he told me to go home. So I go home, laying in my bed, feeling crappy. But then the good news is this. It's an organization a lady invited me to join. It's a Facebook group called, they're going to be on my show, I think tomorrow. It's called Daughters of Forgive Me Charm, but I forgot the name of it. But it's Daughters of something. But one of those, I sent a few people this morning a thing saying I'm having a rough time this morning. I need y'all to pray for me. So several people did. This lady from that organization calls me. Didn't know this number. She says, hi, this is Latricia from Daughters of blah, blah. How are you doing? I heard you're having a rough time today. I said, I am, but I'm at home. I'm feeling better. Do you have any family? Do you have any friends? I said, yeah, they all at work. They don't feel like being bothered. I'm just here. I'm going to get together. I'm good. She says, have you eaten? I said, I'm going to go get me something to eat because I'm used to doing that. I'm going to go get me something to eat. But she says, no. Can I DoorDash you something? I was like, who does that? Yes. I'm used to saying, no, that's okay. But you know what I did, Country Boy? What we've been talking about. I allowed her to do it. So she was going to DoorDash, but then she found out where I lived, and she was like, I'm going to just bring it to you. I work down the street. The lady went to KFC, got me my 2-piece white meat, some mashed potatoes, and my Mountain Dew, came to my door and brought me some food. Do you know how that felt? Someone that doesn't even know me. Didn't even know me from Adam, cared enough about little old bitty Trina to come and make sure I was okay, prayed with me, and brought me food. So those are the two amazing things that happened to me over the weekend, just showing me that people will show up for you. Because I'm at the moment now that I've been thinking All these folks said they was there. Where they at? They still ain't here. So, but anyway, so I'm smiling now because that did, like, her doing the curtains in the house set for me Saturday. Then today, the lady doing that. That meant the absolute, and they were both women. So that's a big deal for me. That made me feel so amazing. So though that was my weekend. Tears, look, tears, curtains, tears, and food. So
that is, you know, and we will and definitely get into, because I really want to get into our topic, but
yes,
you know, I will just say this is that we often talk about it. I mean, and we've had it. We've had the shows about it. We've talked about it. And, you know, I'm big on it as far as not knowing what somebody else is going through. Being able to you know, during the month of December, you know, I love to have, you know, the 21-day love challenge, because we never know. Sometimes we forget the fact that God hears us and he sees what we're going through, and he places people. I'll say this: God is intentional even when we're unintentional. He is very strategic about what he does and who he places, where he places. And he knows exactly what we need, when we need it, and how to give it to us. See, here's this, and I'm going to just say this, and we can move on. It's the simple fact that what you said about all these things that happen, they happen from people you really don't know. Sometimes we lose faith in the world because we see people we don't know being certain kinds of ways. And we expect things from the people we do know. And when we don't get them from the people we do know, then we tend to think that everybody is.
Exactly. I agree with that.
But what God can do is he can say, you know what, let me take this stranger. Let me take this person you don't even know. Let me show you that. Let me show you, how can I put it? Let me show you that my grace is sufficient. Let me show you, when I say these words and I talk about forgiveness and I talk about love and I talk about doing these things, it sometimes, a lot of the times, it's not going to come from that little tight interior that we have. It comes from the exterior. See, because sometimes we forget, when we have it so tight on the interior, we forget that we got a big old God that's taking over the whole exterior.
But you know what, Country Boy? I prayed for that yesterday. Literally yesterday, probably Saturday. I wasn't really in that kind of mood, so I didn't get into this yesterday. It happened. And matter of fact, I went to get me some dancing. I thought that would make me happy, so I went to dance, and I was at the Chicago Bar and Grill outside crying. Like it was just the thing. And people say it comes on, like I'm like running around here happy by my curtains. And here I'm crying again. I'm like, what the hell? But it's just like people say, it comes in waves, and you don't know when it's coming. But point being, I prayed for that. Like I prayed, like I need somebody here to realize that I am not okay. I am not okay. People call to be just talking to me. They don't notice I'm crying. And it's not their fault. I should probably say, which that's what I'm working on, telling people. Like the lady today that offered me the DoorDash, I would have probably said no. But I remembered that I've been saying, with the book I'm planning in that book, we're going to not only talk about what you can tell people to do for you, but what you have to do for yourself. Yes. You have to be able to tell people what you need, what you want. And then you can't say nobody was there for me. If somebody offers to be there for you, they offer you something and you keep saying no.
Right.
So that's my responsibility. So that was great. So we are going to move on to our topic, but I want to say thank you publicly to Yvette Farrell. I want to say thank you publicly to Consuela Foster. I asked her for prayer this morning. She sent me a long prayer, but then she also called to follow up after work. And then I want to thank, her name is Latricia, not Latricia, Larisha. At the end of the show, I'll have her name, but I want to thank her and Charm and Valerie for the prayers and just reaching out, double checking and following up on me today. That was great. That made, I still probably was crying, but it made me feel better. And my two amazing consultants, Miss Christmas and Miss Cha-Cha, unfortunately they had to see me having a meltdown, and they were really, really cool. So let's move on to getting Wendy free. Freeing Wendy. Free Wendy.
So
tell us what a conservatorship is, actually.
I don't know what it is. I didn't look it up.
Well, you know what it is because you deal with it. You told me you dealt with it. You told me you.
Well, I mean, okay, we're talking about conservatorship and guardianship. Yes. If anybody has any insight, because I was today, if I hadn't been so busy, I was going to try to find somebody that could really, really, really delve into this thing. Because all we're going to be able to do tonight is just have some real conversation.
And we'll come back when we get somebody.
Yeah, we're just going to have some real conversations on our thoughts about it. And this came up like this weekend. We did have some conversation about conservatorship because we were talking about Wendy Williams and the things that she's going through. And
let me read you mind if I read what I have?
Go ahead.
A conservatorship is a legal arrangement where a judge appoints someone to make decisions for another person who can't do so for themselves. The person who is appointed is called the conservator, and the person who needs the help is called the conservatee.
Yes.
And a conservatorship is used when someone is unable to care for themselves or manage their finances. When someone is unable to make important decisions for themselves. When other less restrictive options aren't available. The conservator ensures that the conservatee's basic needs are met, such as food, clothing, and shelter, manages the conservatee's money and other property, helps the conservatee with activities of daily living. Now, I didn't know that part, but okay. So the first thing I want us to discuss that we talked about the other day.
Wait, hold on. What's a guardianship?
Guardianship. I was going to ask you, do you want me to say that too? Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, here's this. I like this one. Guardianship and conservatorship are both legal arrangements that give someone the authority to make decisions for another person who can't do so themselves. The main difference between the two is the type of decisions they allow the appointed person to make. Okay. Guardianship involves making personal and medical decisions for someone who lacks the mental capacity to do so. Can be used for minors or incapacitated adults. Can help manage the welfare of a child whose parents can't care for them. And then go back to conservatorship, involves making financial decisions for someone who is mentally capable but physically unable to handle their finances, hence her having dementia, so say. Can be used to manage the rights and responsibilities of parents or others regarding the child's care. The process is that both the guardianship and the conservatorship are court-ordered legal actions. Both require an application or a petition to the state courts. The exact steps of the process vary by state. Okay, so let's go. Now, my question would be, how it doesn't end up not being one of your family members. That's where I'm thrown off at.
Well, and maybe it's because who petitioned. And maybe anybody can petition to be. Maybe they can show that they have been taking care of you when your family member didn't. Maybe they go. I don't know. I'm just assuming. Right. And maybe they've been there, so they go. In essence, depending on what their heart posture is, maybe their heart posture is to keep everybody else out, so they go behind the scenes and take this over. Let's see here. What did she say here? There's a comment. Look, I'm pushing a comment button.
Thank you.
So maybe that's how it goes, and they go behind the scenes and they do this without the knowledge of the family.
Or in Texas, I don't know what Wendy live in Los Angeles, but we're gonna talk about Texas right now.
Talk about Texas.
In Texas, a family member may not be able to be a conservator if they don't meet the eligibility criteria, or if the court determines it's not in the child's best interest.
Okay.
A conservator must be okay. I don't want to talk about that. I want to talk about old grown ass people, why they lose their rights.
Well, and here's the thing. This is my other question.
Okay.
As we're thinking about this and talking about this, once somebody in the court has appointed somebody over you, you basically can't even get your own self back.
Oh, well, Texas does not use conservatorships for adults. We
Oh,
finally
really?
got something that's good here in Texas.
So what do they use? Just guardianship?
Yeah, for children. Well, it says a conservatorship in Texas is a legal term for custody of a child and ends when the child turns 18.
But what do they do for adults?
And so the difference in guardianship and conservatorship in Texas is that the conservatorship in Texas is responsible for child's care, custody, and decision making. The goal is to ensure the child's best interests are met. The guardianship is that they manage the financial affairs or personal care of an adult who is unable to do so for themselves. Oh, you can still have a guardianship in Texas for an adult. Okay.
Okay.
Well, where do Wendy live? New York? Let's find out. I want to know why. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Well, I mean, I guess that's it. It just, once more again, that's when you really, and that's when this thing happens. A lot of this, in my mind, happens when you have family that's been estranged. Okay, then you have somebody that comes in and knows that. I'm just guessing. I don't know. I ain't speaking on nobody's family because I don't know. You have somebody, families estranged. You have somebody that comes in and steps in, okay, and assumes this and becomes per se friends with these people or become close with them, and they're taking them to the doctor or they're taking them to different appointments and they're doing all these things. So now, say for instance, the doctor has gotten familiar with this person and they go like, well, I ain't never seen none of they children here. I ain't never seen none. I thought that they was a part of the family. So now that person per se has created a situation where if they go to the court can bring in other people and say like, yeah, well, we've seen them here. They're always with them. When they go out to eat, it's them and that person. I've never seen anybody else around. And that's the bad part about it. And that's that terrible thing when family becomes estranged and pulled and you don't go checking on Aunt May, or you don't go checking on.
But the thing about it is, she did have her family. That's what I'm thinking. Now I know what happened with Britney. Britney had all kind of people messing up her money. But Wendy, now I ain't there. I ain't looking at paperwork. But I know I could see, okay, her son, maybe they realized her son was spending money, too much money here, there, and everywhere. I get that. But her niece is, and I don't know what the criteria is. So I'm just speaking from my thoughts and my opinion. Yeah. Her niece seems of sound mind, body. She's a news anchor. Like she is. Why?
Right. Well, maybe she wasn't there again when all this started happening. Maybe this was the person that was there and saw their way in.
Gotcha. And that's what Miss Felicia said. People change, have hidden motives. So if that person was already the conservator. Mm-hmm. They took over, they can take, that's why that's why people are saying that conservatorship has its issues, right?
Yeah. I mean, now that person is taken over. And again, that's my the back end of the question is once they gain control, who can take it away from them?
Exactly.
Who can now?
I guess that's where the chain is broken. I guess it's where the system is broken right there.
Yeah.
Like she can't, I mean, like my heart's breaking for her. Her dad's turning 90 something. The conservator or whatever this woman is have told her, I'll have to see if you can go to your daddy's birthday party. Like for real?
Yeah, because I control. I'm over you. If I feel like you can't go, and that's why, and once more again, I say that is that when you become estranged from people when you separate yourself, that allows, again, depending on the heart posture of these people. That's why, again, it's so important to know the people that you are allowing in and the people that you are giving this access to.
I believe the bank, something with Wells Fargo too with her.
Really?
Yeah, it started with something about Wells Fargo. I do remember that. Let me see. Wendy and Wells Fargo. So I guess my question, like when we had the conversation the other day, like who is going to step in to fix the situation if it really is the wrong situation? Who's going to really say, well, let's look into this? You know,
right? And that's the stuff right there. Exactly. And then you have to think. Here's the other caveat that I think about. You have to think about it. So if her kids or somebody, say even myself or anybody else, say somebody wants to come in and say, hey, you know what, this is not right. I'm gonna take this to court, okay?
Mm-hmm.
Remember, whoever it is now taking it to court, and they're fighting against this other person's assets, not the person that has conservatorship or guardianship's assets, because that person can use, say, that lady or whoever it may be, we'll just use Wendy again since we talking about Wendy. She can use Wendy's money to fight against Wendy's own people. She ain't gonna be out of nothing.
Yeah. It says here, Wells Fargo froze Williams' accounts in January 2022, and a judge appointed a financial guardian for Williams 4 months later after Wells Fargo reportedly called her an incapacitated person in a letter to a judge. That's all it takes?
Wow.
It says she was a victim of she was a victim of financial exploitation.
Wow.
So who freaking knows?
And and that's there are so many, and I've heard about all the different avenues and the different things that you can set up now where you can set up these things to protect your family, to protect your assets. That you don't have to. The other thing that we talked about was, people don't want to talk about wills, and they don't want to talk about, leaving it. You and I talked about the simplest thing, baby. They do. If y'all don't know, Facebook even asked you, okay, if something happened to you, who you want to take over this? If Facebook has a section where you sign somebody to take over your page, Lord, people. Okay, come on. If social media has this thing that's telling you, hey, get somebody to handle your business here. Why wouldn't you think of that on a whole wider scale? There are people that have bank accounts but don't have a signee on it. Do you know what you have to go through if something happens to you for somebody to even access your bank account if you do not have them as a signee? If you do not have some kind of will or something written out, you could be like, well, I'm going to just leave this to my children. Let me tell you something. It does not go to your children if they have some kind of dispute, or they like, well, their mama said this and mama said that, or daddy said this. Let me tell you what happens. Guess who takes that over? The state.
Yep.
Then you have to go and get an attorney, stand in the pay. Then if you want to, then you have to go through this whole, just because you felt like it was so morbid to talk about these things with your family and where this is at, and hey, this account over here and this right here, and here's the beneficiary over here, because you didn't want to talk about those things. If you don't address these issues, when you pass on, all you're doing is leaving problems for somebody else. It's real simple. And that's reality. If you do not address these things, if you don't address them, just think like, oh, we ain't gonna talk about it.
But then hell, some people probably be like, well, I'll be gone. I'm just leaving him here to work it out. I don't have to be in an argument. I'll be gone up under the ground. But yes, it does stop a lot of things. Like we also, I also talked yesterday when we were talking about this topic that just because you think you don't have anything, you still need a will, because you do have your savings account. I don't care if you have $5 in it, it's yours. Your savings account, your checking account, the things that you have at work. Even though I know you signed the little whatever, still put that in so someone can, take care of that business. Whatever it is that you have, you even, to me, down to who can come in your house, and which I know on the lease they have that, but put that in. Who comes in the house, have access to your house or your apartment, whatever you have, to come in and get things in and out of it. Because people come out in the woodworks. I've always been told that like,
and you have these things, when say you do, okay, something happens to you and you're at your house, what you just talked about. If you don't have somebody who can come in, do you know them folks gonna be like, ain't letting nobody up in there? They don't have to let anybody. You can be like, well, mama, well, auntie passed, so I need to go in here and get her stuff. They don't have to let you in. That's why these things are so, this is real. I mean, this is the real things that happen. You know, these people talk about this and nobody wants to, these insurance policies. Man, do you know? I mean, I've been just what used to be $8,000 just to. I think I don't even know how much it is to cremate somebody. That's why everybody's like, "Well, just cremate me because that's a cheaper way." Even cremation them went up. It costs to burn, folks.
It's still cheaper than paying that $10,000, $15,000, $20,000 for that casket, and that's not even with a tombstone.
Yeah, no, that don't. No, that's extra now.
Yeah,
but you know these. You know, for especially, you know, as you get older, your polish prices go up. But younger, you can start off at pennies on a dollar for a $10,000 policy. Pennies on a dollar. You know, it is so crucial. People are out here. So much is going on. Man, and that doesn't mean, oh, I'm trying to get a policy on you because I think something to happen to you. I'm getting to protect if it does. Mm-hmm. Because the strain that you leave behind on somebody else trying to see, like, how am I going to make this? How am I gotta put baby in the ground, or I gotta put.
GoFundMe is not life insurance. I had a show that was a time. I thought more people was gonna watch it, but you know, GoFundMe is not life insurance.
No.
Please don't put that burden on people to have to come up and scrape up for you to have to do what you got to do. I will never. And if I'm wrong, God forgive me, please. But you know, I'm out and about because of what I do. You know, with the live music, I'm always somewhere usually. And it was a guy. Well, and then I used to work for the Red Rooster. So when I was working for the Red Rooster, it was a guy. And I'm just gonna use one guy because a whole bunch of them just like this guy. So pretend I'm talking about 65 people in their 5-piece suits coming up into the Red Rooster. Always in his 5-piece suit, right? In there taking pictures, spending money, popping, whatever it is they do. At 60, 70 years old in a Red Rooster. It never fails. Those same people you saw every single, and they be in there Wednesday, Friday, Saturday. They in there 4 days, 3 to 4 days a week. But then when something happens when you pass on, when Tito was alive, they were looking at Tito. For it. Tito have buried people. Tito has given the club for repasses. And my point is because people couldn't raise the money to do it. Right. So someone has to bow down and give up their pride to go ask someone for money to bury you.
Yeah.
So take some of them dollars that you, and maybe they don't be buying the club. I don't know. But they take some of those. I mean,
hey, if it's $10 to get in the club, okay, you can take one of them dollars and put it on a life insurance policy.
I mean, they're not that expensive.
No.
You know, right now, because right now. But no, they're not. And it's, oh gosh, how can I say this and not people not beat me up? It's selfish. It's selfish that your family has to do GoFundMe.
Well, I mean, here's the thing. And when you say that, mm-hmm. And then I know a lot of people say, well, what you said earlier, well, I'll be gone. I ain't finna worry about it. Mm-hmm. Well, not only are you putting the grief of the fact that you just passed away, mm-hmm. now the hardship of how do I take care of this? Now you gone. Now they sitting up here, not only grieving the fact that you have gone on, but now they're trying to figure out how do I bury him? And let me tell y'all something, man. I'm gonna tell y'all, for me, I ain't looking for no big old. I mean, a pine box is good with me, but some people want to go and they want to. I mean, it's a box. I'm gonna tell y'all.
I want you to have your favorite color.
Hey, hold on. Here go the twister. Here go the twisted humor. You want twisted humor? It's what I told. This is what I told one of the folk. I said, well, when I die, can you just stuff me and put me in the corner?
Hell no. Hell to the no. Consider personal life insurance.
Hey, just set me in the corner with my hat on.
That was, is it morbid? What's the word? It didn't sound very good.
Just set me over there in the corner.
That sounds horrible. It sounds like no. We're not gonna say that. Make sure I'm using the right term. Make sure I'm using the right. Look, hold on, do this.
but no, I mean it is so, and I know some people want to go all out and they want to do all these, they want to raise all this money and they want to do all these things, and then so many. I was talking to my old pastor and back home in Louisiana, and he was saying the same thing about they're going through, a lot of young people are passing, and mothers are struggling to bury them and having to go out. What you just said, having to go out and beg people and try to. They are selling, or they're putting up their homes that they have had in order to bury a child. That's not. That's not. Is that what you want to leave behind?
Right.
Because now you're leaving. You're leaving them emotionally and now financially broken.
Oh my God, Miss Julie, you. I can't. Oh my God. I don't ever laugh that hard to where my stomach is hurting. My whole chest is hurting. I was not expecting that from Miss Julie. Oh my God. Miss Julie, I'm going to tell them to pack him up and send him right on to your house. Ooh, that was funny. That was really funny. I love that. That's good. Oh God.
But no, but we must. These are things that
okay, so that was the word. I knew I was kind of smart. I wasn't sure.
What?
Morbid is the word. That is morbid, country boy. That is morbid. Miss Julie, what you're saying? It's ghoulish. It's unpleasant. It is, especially death and disease. All of that's horrible.
We're gonna be together forever.
It came to me. I knew I want to double check on myself.
Hey, we're gonna be together forever.
Ooh, Jesus. You know how men? Oh, here's a
hey, Diva. This is it right here.
Boy, if you don't shut up and get out of my life. Man, Julie say put a big old sign that says sit back, relax, and put something in your ear. Okay, so let's do this real quick. We're gonna go through this. We're talking about the guardianship stuff. I love me some Chat GPT. I told him I knew some facts. But anyway, so I did see this. The process is, we talked about asking about the process. The process is a court hearing is required, and evidence, medical evaluations, and stuff like that must be presented to prove the individual's inability to care for themselves. The court determines the scope of now that's big word, scope of the guardian's authority, which could include financial control, healthcare decisions, or both. Right. That's the now the potential concerns is where we are. What we're discussing is that the loss of independence. Some individuals feel stripped of their autonomy, and that's how Wendy is feeling right now. That's how Britney Spears felt and whatever. But we saw Britney on Dancing, so we knew something wasn't quite right with that situation. So the abuse of power is another concern. There have been cases where guardians exploit their authority. Discuss the importance of transparency and accountability when someone becomes a guardian or conservator. That, like being transparent with the family. One time the family didn't even know where Wendy was.
Right.
So that's a big thing. At least what's her name? Britney was kept prisoner in her house.
Right.
And people could come in now. Advice: encourage families to talk about powers of attorney.
Yes.
Or other estate planning tools that can prevent the need for court-appointed guardians. That's what you're talking about, basically. They don't have to get a court-appointed guardian if you plan ahead and get some power of attorney stuff going on, or estate planning, the wills, blah, 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 blah.
Yeah.
So that makes sense. So research and plan early. If guardianship might become necessary for research and plan early, if guardianship might become necessary for a loved one. Well, I'm gonna tell you what, me and my mom got this discussion because I ain't having Wells Fargo, Chase, any of them people come in taking over anything that belonged to my mama. We got this. Me and my sister got it. We don't need none of them. Life insurance. Why it's important. Life insurance provides financial security for your family in the event of your passing, helping cover debts, funeral expenses, or replacing income replacement.
Yes.
Meaning,
Jasmine, I totally agree. That is the nail on the head right there. Get your affairs in order. Get your, especially,
the burden on who?
Yeah. I mean, people out here, everybody's out here. You got your LLC, you got all these things. That is stuff that's real. I mean, you're out here once more again, but when you're not sharing and you're holding it over here and nobody knows what you got. How many people do you think? I'm gonna tell y'all. Now, I don't know how it really works because I have never passed away. But having just saying, I don't know. Do you think the people from the 401 gonna call you up and say, hey, we got $20,000 over here that Uncle Charlie had and we want to give it to you?
So stupid.
I mean, for real, do you think them folks just gonna be caught? Do you think the bank gonna be like, hello, this is Bank of America. Your cousin Jesse had $20 million and we think that you should. No, they not.
They might. What they gonna do with it?
What they doing with it now?
With Wendy's money?
What they doing with it now? That's what they're gonna do with it. The same thing they doing with it now.
Common misconceptions about insurance. It's only for people with dependents. That's not true. Like, life insurance can cover funeral costs, medical bills, and debts, even if you don't have children. It's too expensive. There are affordable policies that fit most budgets, especially if you start young. It's a young lady. I want to hype her up because she was call her out and give her a shout out. But I will post it later. She was on my show last year, and I will refer people to her because she's a young girl and she had it all together and she's ready to help with your planning. So it's been a year ago and I haven't called her yet. But after this has happened with what's going on me, it's reality to me at this point to where. And then me and my kids have had that discussion before about just what she said, getting your affairs in order, knowing who goes where, what needs to get, who gonna get all my expensive jewelry that I don't have, that I got. No, I'm just who gonna get my TVs? No, I'm just joking. But the younger, start early, the younger and healthier you are, your premiums are much less expensive.
Yes.
Evaluate your needs. Look at factors like dependence, debts, income, future expenses like college for your kids. Because and I'll tell you, my stepsister who passed away, she had her stuff together. She really had, and I don't want to say this in an offensive way that I was shocked, but because so many of us don't think about these things. She had things planned to the T. She was able to, her son that lives in Dallas, he was able to take his money and start his business, get him a house. Her daughter here was able to get a house. Like, she had them set up for if something was to happen to her. And it did, and it worked out to where everybody, her children were taken care of very well. Evaluate your need. Okay, get educated on riders. Riders like living benefits, allowing you access to money in case of terminal illness can be helpful, but are often overlooked. I didn't know about that part. The importance of preparation. Have a designated beneficiary. Make sure your policy is up to date and matches your current wishes. Don't just rely on, this is what I learned from that young lady. Do not just rely on your life insurance at your employer. If you leave your job, that coverage does not follow you usually. In most cases,
Right.
it doesn't follow you. So that's why you need to get your own policy. Take action. Speak with a licensed insurance agent. Consider using online comparison tools to find affordable coverage.
Yes.
Get somebody to help you understand and break stuff down, because there's things that you don't know, because I don't know. That's why I didn't read about it. Term life insurance that is coverage for a specific period, like 10, 20, or 30 years, with all that stuff. Whole life insurance. Get someone to help you understand stuff. I like bullet points. Talk to me in bullet points so I can I'm basic. I need to understand it, so break it down to me. But just to close out the final tie-in, thank you, ChatGPT, my best friend. Make sure that you plan ahead, y'all. Guardianship ensures someone you trust is protecting your interests if you're unable to.
Yes.
So having someone already chosen for that will save you a lot of whatever. I don't know what happened with Wendy and Wells Fargo, because now that I'm reading up on this, I'm like, oh, something else happened up in that situation.
Right.
Life insurance is a gift of financial security to your loved ones in a time of need. Yes. I will tell you, when my dad passed, I went to the funeral home with my stepmom. I did all that. And if I tell you, when I look back on those days, that day that I did that, I was living out of my body. I went through that, doing that, all happy-go-lucky, like this is nothing. Oh, this is fine. And so now I'm getting what I guess I probably should have been doing then, but I realized that going through this, you're not thinking straight. Right. You are not even yourself. Like, I remember now not being in my body, if that makes sense. Like, yeah. And I look back now, I'm like, what the hell was I thinking? I'm running around there picking out caskets and colors, and what was I thinking? Like, why was I not on the floor kicking and hollering at that time? But of course you can't do that, because I always say the show must go on, but that's what's going on, and the emotions are weird. Like, if those decisions are already made, no one has to set aside their grief to do those things.
And the thing is this, and this is what I believe, is that those places, I'm not knocking them, but that's business. That's business.
Mm-hmm.
And when I say that, is they're trying to sell. Their business is to sell. It's not to, if they got a $500 coffin and they got a $5,000 coffin, baby, they're gonna show you the $5,000 first and tell you how comfortable.
Well, I must say,
I'm just saying,
my grandmother and my daddy were at, I can't call their name right now, but they didn't go, and I get what you're saying, because they do that with cars. Yeah. And I think because we had a family history with them, because my stepmom and her family just had someone there, and then my uncle went to school with, whatever. They showed us both. They showed us all the inexpensive stuff, which you ain't putting my daddy in no pine box. I'm sorry, country boy. We was gonna have a pretty blue thing because his color was blue, but they did show us the expensive stuff. They showed us the inexpensive stuff, and they showed us how we could, like, they were really good at showing us what was, and they didn't try to, because they say you're not supposed to show your insurance policy to the funeral home because they're gonna try to use it all.
All of it. Every last bit. Do not.
Right. And so
yeah.
I've heard, I don't know for sure that there was more than one policy, but the policy that this one was used for the casket and stuff, it did take most of it, but it was good for us because we didn't have to worry about a tombstone and a burial plot because he was a veteran. So of course they took care of, which I think, now that I went through that process and saw how much stuff costs, man, they do hook up veterans. I mean, because the plot, and just think because Dietrich, his mom, she doesn't have a tombstone yet, so he's going to work on that. But that damn thing costs a lot of money.
Well, I mean, you have to. Let me tell you. All right, and we can close out here, but let me tell you. Not only does it cost for the coffin, the service, okay, all of that, but you still got to remember, it costs to get a grave dug. Okay, if you're ain't nobody just going out there. I'm sorry, we 2025. Ain't nobody out there with shovels digging no hole. Okay,
In Louisiana, they do. But
Yeah, well, I mean,
I saw that for myself.
hey, we'll hit the back. We'll put in the backyard. I'm just saying.
What is happening here?
And wait a minute, look, let me give y'all a little fact if y'all didn't know this.
Yeah.
Like a lot of places you may see in like Louisiana or in the country out in the woods, you're driving up to somebody's place and you see the tombstone going up to their house. You know that they can't, that land right there, like they can't ever take that land because it is like an official burial ground.
Mm.
Why do you think, all right, why do you think Trump buried them on the golf course? Okay. I'm just saying,
They can't ever take the golf course. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So,
but I mean, that's the realness. That's the realness. But I mean, that's to the extreme. But
yeah. And I guess this is kind of a twist of humor. But you know, when you go to the country, you got to go real old school. At least because it was like a country where Detroit people were from. And I mean, I had to go find some stockings because back then, I mean, out there, they want you to wear stockings to church. You can't be going bare-legged. So I had to go hunt down pantyhose to wear out there. But the funny thing is, you go out, and when the first time I witnessed it, we at the church, we go out the church, people that took their jackets and they got their ties flipped to the back and they digging the grave.
Digging the grave?
What? Right. And I'm looking around like, what the? So I've always been super excited. I guess I was sort of, what do you call it when your parents keep you,
sheltered?
Sheltered. Because when I saw that, I was totally excited. That sounds morbid too, but I was so excited. They are out here digging the grave. Like they're literally, everybody got their shovel and they digging. They got through with that and they put their coats and jackets back on. It's time we gone. Like, what? So crazy. Anyway, let me just close out mine. So let's just remember that life is totally full of things that we don't know if it's going to happen or not. And you don't want to, again, leave your family stuck out. Yes. It's not just about preparing for the unexpected, but it is about leaving your legacy, but also leaving your family not having to deal with the grief and also trying to bury you. Come up with money. Can you imagine having to come up with? You ever see those people? Somebody died today and they don't get buried for a month later because people trying to come up with money to bury you. My uncle, I have an uncle who unfortunately was addicted to drugs, who died like a couple of days after my daddy, maybe a week after my daddy. The state buried him, but it's very strict. I appreciate them doing it, but you got to keep in mind if you go that way, you got 15 minutes for a funeral. That means can't nobody be late. 15 minutes for a funeral. You don't want to go out like that. You want your family to be able to give their last blessings to you. You want to, like, yeah. So don't wait for life to force us into action. Instead, let's take control while we can. Make decisions now for the future. Because at the end of the day, protecting those we love and ensuring their peace of mind is one of the greatest gifts that we can give. So, as y'all have seen me living it day to day, month to month, anything can be going on during that time. You know what I'm saying? Like even with my trip, what is it? My cruise. Mm-hmm. Again, in the world of what I do, like the show got to go on, not for the most part. So with all of that, dealing with all of that, what people are going to work, they don't give, which is something I really would love to fight. They give people 3 days, 3 bereavement days for your mom, your dad, immediate family, your husband, your wife. That is not enough. You know what I mean? It's so while people dealing with that, they got to probably go back to work. They got to fight the people at work to let them off and make sure they get paid. Like if you have this already together, that'll be less of a fight that people have to go through, less of the stress that.
So wait, a question. You said what do they give days for now?
They give 3 bereavement days for your immediate person.
So does that mean I get a week? I mean, I get 2 weeks.
Why?
I got 4.
You got 4? No, I'm talking, but no, not if they die all. Yeah, if they die all at one time, you get 4 weeks.
No, I'm saying, but
I'm talking about if you pass. I mean,
I got 4 exes. So if that's 3 days for each one of them.
Yeah, I mean, no. They got to be your current wife. They'll tell you that your current wife is going to be your current mother-in-law, your current father-in-law. Yes, got to be current. Yeah, because I had a guy. His name. What was his name? I used to work at LBJ. And there was an old guy there. I can't call his name right now. He was so funny, but he had an uncle or an auntie die every 6 weeks. Like Mr. Fuller. His name was Mr. Fuller. Mr. Fuller had an auntie or somebody die every 6 weeks. Like Mr. Fuller, how many more people you gonna have die in your family? So wait a minute.
Need some time.
Mr. Fuller say, "Look here, son,
I need some time.
I got a big family, and they just all leaving at one time." But that was a twist of humor. Again, a little weird, but so anyway, y'all. Let's a couple things. We talked about the conservatorship. That was the main topic. The conservatorship and the guardianship.
Guardianship.
You don't have to worry about it from what I'm reading and what we're discussing. If you already have your plans in order, and if there is, again, from what I read today, it seems as though if you have someone already set as your person, you may not have to go through this. Let's say if Wells Fargo would have had someone that Wendy signed off to be her guardian or her conservative person, and they looked in person, that niece that she has, looked her up, found that she was sound mind and body, found that she was a
you got have a signature card on file.
Yes, yeah, that she probably would have been the conservator. But who thinks about that? Who would have thought that I'm going to Wells Fargo's going to freeze my money? They're going to feel someone has told them what is the Wendy Williams show, and Wells Fargo has told them there's no one that can do my money. I'm incapacitated in the mind. I'm getting dementia, so things are happening, so I can't handle it. So they had to go find somebody because there was no one set in place for this.
Right.
And in defense of her family, is like, I could see what happened, because who would have thought overnight Wendy Williams would have been this Wendy Williams that we see today?
Right.
It's so freaking sad. But anyway, y'all, I'm gonna close out. Y'all pray for Wendy. #free Wendy. That sounded so crazy. But anyway, that's what they're saying. Free Wendy. But I do understand a little bit more what's happening with that case now. I'm glad we had this topic, because it does help me understand. Y'all go ahead and reach out to somebody. I will post. Some of y'all are on my page, some are not. Make sure y'all join my Facebook group page, So You Want to Dance, chat with Trina, or just watch Trina W. Lowry. I sound like Country Boy saying my name, Trina W. Lowry, on my Facebook page, because I will post that person that sells the life insurance as well. Thank y'all for clicking in tonight. We had some nice numbers seeing y'all come in. So I thank you. I hope this was a topic that you guys was important to y'all. Make sure that you share this. Tell people to watch. Country Boy hopefully is going to put this into some reels so we can get some of this information out. Huh?
Why, certainly.
Yeah, because this is an important part. And I thought it was a pretty good conversation, don't you think?
I do agree. I think it's
we actually agreed on the whole night.
I think it's something that's very much needed. I mean, it's we can joke about it, but it is still very much needed. Jasmine, I'm gonna steal one of yours. Jasmine often says, "What is the words? You don't know somebody until you get married." Hey, Jasmine.
Until you get divorced. She said when you get divorced.
You really don't know folks until you get divorced. Well, Jasmine, I'm gonna tiptoe on that one. You really, really don't know folks until somebody died. Because then you see some sides of some folks. And Lord, when they die, they got a little something. Woo, Lord.
That is so true.
Woo!
Let me get one more twist of humor in before I let it go to you. My auntie, so when my dad passed, they told my auntie not to tell nobody. Because some people in the family did not know. So everybody said, make sure you call this particular auntie. Everybody was in agreement. This was the auntie you got to call and say, tell her, do not post. There's some people in the family that don't know. Let's be respectful.
And my favorite anchor right there.
This woman posted it. She posted it big as day with a picture, everything. Then somebody, I think my sister or somebody called and said, why did you do that? You need to take it down. She told my sister, oh, I'm going to take it down. Child, next thing we know, she came on Facebook and said, I ain't taking it down. That's my brother too. I don't care. I don't care who see.
That's gangster.
I ain't taking it down. And then when you go and say, yes, but this was so rude, she'll come back and say, so? Yeah, but ain't Pat. This was a so. That is not funny.
Hey, the first time the first time I heard it, I was rooting for her.
The last part of that story was, again, it's funny but not funny. The next week when my uncle passed away, she had access to that institution. So, she was happy then because now she can be over it and she can post it without anybody saying anything. And Lord, did she post? I said, well, at least she got something to do now. Maybe she'll stay out of our she was gonna post it. So anyway, you gotta laugh to keep them crying. I've been crying all day. I've really, and I want to say, Country Boy, this is a hey Peaches.
Hey Peaches.
I've been crying since yesterday. So now I'm smiling and grinning, and I'm crying now because you made me. We didn't laugh. And again, this was a serious topic, but it was definitely some humor amongst it. So I do feel a lot better. So you know how we talk about sometimes we just don't. And Denise said that too. Sometimes you just don't want to get on the show, right? I was telling Yvette before we got on. I said I'm gonna do my show laying in the bed. I was coming in to get my computer. I said, and you should have seen what I had on. I was on just like that. And I said, girl, come on now. Get your ass up and go. So I went on and put on a shirt. If y'all saw what was at the bottom of this shirt, you'd laugh. So I did get up, and like you talk about, we're doing this for a reason. We're doing this to help others. Yes, sometimes I have to take off, but I have to do that for my mental health. But yes, the show has to keep going because we are here to help people and bring information. Keep in mind, keep your eyes and ears open because we are going to get someone who has more official knowledge on guardianships and conservatorships. We're going to get someone to come on and have that discussion with us because I think it's a great topic, interesting topic, if nothing else. And it's important to help you understand how you can get caught up in a conservatorship and what you need to do not to get caught up. I might call somebody from Wells Fargo.
Shoot, I might call somebody who done got caught up in one of them things.
Well, let's do it. Let's have us a good panel.
I might find somebody and go behind their conservators' back. Look here.
Shit, Wendy might do it for you because Wendy on everybody talk show. she calling on the phone. But anyway, y'all, have a great evening. Thank y'all for clicking in. Oh my gosh, I just want to thank y'all for. I feel so much better. I'm energetic, all that. So look at what the real conversation with a twist of humor will do for you.
Hey,
one last thing, y'all, has nothing to do with the topic, but just note that we have the Party on the Sea Cruise 2025. Registration is now open. You can go to dreamtimetravelbyjoe.com and it's Joe. You know why my mama's name is Joanne? Do you know my mama's name? Joe. Her first name is really Joe. Do you know that?
Her
first name is not Joanne, it's Joe.
And her middle name is Ann?
Her middle name is Ann because her daddy's name was what?
Andrew.
Her first name is Joe. Her dad's name was Joseph.
Oh, okay.
So she's Joe. Middle name is Ann. Anyway, I just thought it was some good little fun fact. Need Kayla to do fun facts. But no, the Party on the Sea 2025 is on and popping. We ready to roll. Go to dreamtimetravelbyjoe.com. Go ahead and pay. It's $75 to just register. That is not your cabin. The full deposit is $300, but it's only $75 to put your name saying that you're going. We need that soon because that tells us that we can actually sell. Because the one thing Miss Trina not going to do, we're going to talk about that on a later date. We're going to be real. I ain't coming to my pocket this year. And I'm going to stop right there. So mark your calendars for November 6th through the 10th. And then also mark your calendar for June the 13th. Nope, June the 14th. Saturday, June the 14th. That will be the So You Want to Dance Extravaganza. So You Want to Dance Extravaganza featuring music and comedy. I don't like that title of the musical. I'm gonna figure out how to put that a different way, but it'll be So You Want to Dance Extravaganza with music and comedy will be the featured acts, and it is going to be at the studio that's located at 7511 288 Holly Hall, rather one of them. So, but just mark the days. Don't worry about all that. June 14th it's an indoor festival with live music and comedy, and November 6th through 10th is the music and comedy Party on the Sea 2025. So thank y'all. If you need some more information, you can always reach out to me. God is good all the time, Miss Julie. You are so right. And Miss Julie, you have been so funny tonight. You really joined in on that twist of humor tonight. We're gonna have to do something for you for that one. We're gonna get you gotta get your little things back so you can say dun, 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 dun. The things I hate for DJs to do. I need to come up with that 25 things that I hate for DJs to do.
Oh,
that thing that they do. Well, go ahead, y'all. Thank y'all. Good night. Blessings to you, Country Boy. Take it away.
Thank you. Thank each and every one of y'all for tuning in. We greatly appreciate it. Appreciate your support so very much. Miss Julie, you know I love you unconditionally. There ain't nothing you can do about it. I'll tell you that personally. I will say to you, co-host, and I will share this with you. You know, I often talk about this platform and I often talk about this space for me. And I talk about coming in here and this is my war room, and how no matter what is going on the outside, when I step inside of here, there's a whole different thing that happens. Yes, beyond a shadow of a doubt, for the last few hours, for the last 24, 48 hours, you may have been going through something. And you yourself said, man, I was going through. And here's the thing. I always say this, even your subconscious knew that you wasn't finna stay where you was at. Your subconscious did not say, well, I'm staying right here. Your subconscious say, I'm going through something. So it knew that there was a brighter side. Didn't know when.
Facts.
But you knew that there was a brighter side. And I'm so happy to see that being here. This you know how I feel about this. This for me, y'all. I mean, I don't know what y'all may think, but for this right here, for me, is where I get the we both individually and collectively started doing this for so many different reasons, but we have come together to do this for a main reason, is to be servants and to be able to help others and to be able to share our ups, share our downs, share what we're going through. The most powerful thing that you have done is came here. You know, we often talk about it, came here in the worst of the worst. Like, you know what? So, you know, now you can, when I've talked about, man, I had to come on here after I left the courthouse after signing some divorce papers, and then I had to come do a show.
Mm-hmm.
I got fired one day, and that night I had a show. But it was knowing that it was greater, that this is bigger than us. The title of this show is The Real Conversation. Please don't forget the first is real. The first is real. The first is that it's shared real. The conversation is not scripted. We don't have some stuff we done wrote down. Oh, well, I don't know if she's a teacher. She might be done wrote some stuff down over there. But I don't have anything. But we come from the most genuine place that we come from. We come from the heart. We come open, honest, and we come transparent. This is us. This is us right here. What you see is what you get. This pretty much is right here.
Can I pin right there and just say something too? Tonight we agreed on everything, but just note that Country Boy and I are friends. We're genuinely friends. So we're on here arguing. It's not, we don't hate each other. We're not gonna be mad at each other. We just don't agree. And sometimes we both are passionate about, we feel, especially I'm probably more passionate than he is about something, because he like men, they let stuff roll off their back quicker than some of us, especially me. So I know, like, especially Miss Julie gets very she be like, y'all behave, don't be arguing, don't be mad at each other, but just note that it's all in either fun or passion to what we believe in. And so don't ever think that. Now, Country Boy do get mad at me sometimes. He think I don't be knowing when he mad, but he go a few days without calling me first, so I be knowing when he mad. But it is what it is. Same thing he would probably say about me. She'll get over it. I say, and that's, to be honest with you, when I tell people why I didn't used to do women, it was because women kept grudges. They were mad, child. Men be like, girl, that's just Trina. She'll be fine tomorrow. So that's what I like about male platonic friendships, because of their knowing, okay, that's just she, she's sensitive, or she just she believes in what she's feeling, or she's an emotional being. I'm human. Same with Country Boy. I be like mad because he don't see what I'm trying to see, but we be fine the next day. Or when we get off this call, sometimes we stay on here, forget we own this. We don't be live, but we close out, we still be talking. Forget we on here, and we still be talking. So it's never that.
Right.
Now, if he was here with me, or I was there with him, I can't tell you how we would be fighting, and I might choke him or something like that. But we're not in the same place, so that won't happen. But anyway, in all seriousness, that was my twist of humor.
Yeah.
In all honesty, I just really, it worries me when y'all are worried about us, and so I appreciate it. But just know, good, healthy disagreeing is human, and I wouldn't want someone that agreed with me all the time. I'm trying to prove my point. He might be trying to prove his point, but 9 times out of 10, he just don't care, and that's when I get aggravated. So just I want to put that disclaimer out there.
Yeah, I mean, and it is true. And we, the back and forth. I mean, that's what the real conversation is. It's not about always saying things and oh yeah, we just agree on everything. Yeah, there are some things there's probably more things we agree on than disagree. But that is it is. And the wonderful thing is to have a conversation, and a real conversation, and to be open about it, is you want to be able to see from another person's standpoint. You want to see what another person's view is. Why would you want to be closed off and say, like, oh, my view is the only way I view, and I don't see nothing else? Then you ain't gonna never learn no more.
No.
I mean, that don't mean that they have to be right.
That's when you do this. See, we know each other better than y'all think. Yeah. So anyway, I did want to throw that out there, since we were kind of talking about the show, that and think about it, y'all. When y'all be watching them reality shows that y'all try to make people think y'all don't be watching, but y'all be watching. That's what we like. We love the banter, the friendly banter, or the going back and forth. And that's what we like about it. When y'all was watching Jerry Springer back in the day, what you watching for? The little mess, the little itty-gritty. But we're doing it with each other. We're not pulling other people in to talk about people and fight. It's me and him, and the guests that we may have, of course, that we're just going back and forth about what we believe in, what we don't believe in, whatever. So, yeah, I'm sorry, Country Boy.
No, you're good. I mean, and here's the thing. I'm gonna stand on this again. Them old reality shows y'all be watching, and them other shows and all that. Let me tell y'all, they scripted.
Don't mess it up for me. Do not mess it up for me.
They are scripted and edited. When y'all see us, ain't nothing edited. It is real.
You can't tell me Martell didn't have another baby by another woman on Love and Hip. No, not Love and Hip. He really did. I said, Miss Julie says, I'm looking at a new poster for the podcast. Share that poster, Mr. Lewis.
What poster? That was her. You talking about? I don't know, Miss Julie. I don't know.
Oh, the poster she made for us? Did she make a front?
I don't know. I'm
okay. Oh, and y'all coming soon. We have the shirts made. They're in my car. We have our new shirts. Our new logo is on. We have them on shirts now.
And you can buy them.
Definitely can purchase one. If you want to have our friendly little faces on your shirt, thanks to a creative move by Tanisha, who will be on our show at the end of the month. You know, we didn't do it this month. We were supposed to do it tonight. Or that next week, no, tonight, we highlight a small business owner every month. So a creative move celebrated her anniversary this week. She thought we forgot, but we didn't. Her day is gonna be February 24th.
February 24th.
And she's gonna kick off her. So we're gonna put this in a universe. So she came back out. She is launching her new website February 24th.
And if y'all can't find her website, you can go on my website and you can purchase a tumbler through her website, because I will have the link to her website on my website. Ooh.
See how you do that? That's how you support. And this year I said, I love the word support, but because it's been so used, overstretched, taken out of proportion, I said this year we're going to empower people to follow their dreams and to follow their visions and reach their goals is what we're going to be doing this year. That is big. That's the only way that we're going to be able to help each other. Me and my sister got into we were talking about the boycotting of different places. But I could be wrong. So I don't have a problem being corrected about this. I don't think we have a Walmart that's Black owned or a Target that's Black owned. We have all these different people who are not Black or brown who own the warehouses, and they own the rights to beauty supplies, to where we have to buy from them. And they, as my daughter says, they gatekeep. They do things like that. Well, you got to spend $5,000 today before you can get your discount. If we could come together some kind of way, seeing what's happening in the country right now, if we could come together and we can open us up a Black Walmart. It won't be called Walmart, but we can open us a Black store. Like, if somebody come together, we got money. There's money. Matter of fact, we need to get Jeremy Darby back on the show. Jeremy's out here doing some things. Jeremy Darby, you don't remember Jeremy Darby?
Who is it?
He came on our show, very smart. He was my STEM consultant. He talks about generational wealth. Jeremy. Anyway, Jeremy was all at the inauguration. He was all at the inauguration. But Jeremy is really good about that. Right now, he's doing some things. He's trying to teach Black communities how to come together and be wealthy, but not in the way of being wealthy like these triads and these pyramids and squares and triangles. He is saying he's putting money into it to show you how he's in the community doing this free. So we're gonna have to get him back on the show this year. But anyway, there's ways around this stuff that they're doing with the DEIs and ABC and GF, all that. If we come together to figure it out and can work together as Black people and Black and brown, I'm not gonna go there, but Black and brown people, to get us our own Wally world,
Right. Oh, I agree.
Our own Target.
Because and Miss Julie, I just tagged you in the Facebook, Miss Julie. I didn't know what you talking about. She talking about that one. Oh, this one up here. See the post over my head up there that you put up there. That one.
You talking about your T-shirt?
No, the poster over my head. I'm pointing at the screen.
The one I posted?
Yeah.
Oh.
I just sent it to her. Yeah, I mean, we must. I mean, we really can. We really can. I think that we must learn how to unify. We know so well how to separate.
Ain't that a fact?
We know how to separate. So now we must learn how to unify, and to come together and to be that for each other. And I laugh today. Y'all know I personally don't do a lot of news stuff, but some things just crack me up. I heard about the new thing in the stock market losing tons of money because, we want to invest $1 trillion, billion, 250 zillion in AI and Chat GPT, and them folks across the water done come in here with less resource. Here it is again, with less resources, and then outdid Chat GPT, boom, like that. And now the folks are scrambling because they done talked about all that, But here's the thing is we have to be willing to think outside of the box. We have to understand that we are. I remember that movie, and I'm finna close. That movie, Soul Food, when that grandma said those words. She talked about the fingers, that how they were all separate on the hand. But when they could come together, what a powerful blow.
Yeah, he sure did say that.
When we can learn that when we are running around like this, listen, thank you, God. He just gave me this and I'm closing. If when we're running around like this, understand this, that each one of these is exposed. Each one is exposed when we're running like this. But when we can come together, each one is now protecting the other.
Absolutely.
And there's far much more power in this than in this.
Come on, Soul Food.
And there it is.
Teaching us stuff.
There it is. From the kitchen of Soul Food.
How do you remember that country? Wait, Dietrich remembers his Easter speech. So every blue moon, I said, boy, say your Easter speech. He remembers his Easter speech. Who remembers? And I'm thinking, so did they say the same Easter speech every year?
I don't know. I can't even think back that far.
But anyway, go ahead, close out, country boy. Y'all, I love y'all. Make sure that y'all go to youtube.com/chat with Trina. Subscribe. I'm still looking for 500, trying to have 500 subscribers. You know, hit the little bell so you know when I upload a new video. But also, please go to my Facebook group, So You Want to Dance. If you want to know where to find live music, stuff that's going on, please join the So You Want to Dance Facebook group, and you will find all kind of stuff going on in the city.
Amen. Well, thank y'all so very much. Thank y'all so very much. It has been a pleasure being here. It has been a pleasure with y'all. Thank you for being my family. I greatly appreciate you. I appreciate you so much, co-host. I'm glad that you're doing so much better. It's amazing. Grace. It to sit here and to actually witness God's grace. And if anybody's watching tonight, what you have seen is God's grace. And to say his grace is sufficient. It is evident right here. I thank y'all so very much. Look at here. The three things, the most important three things is vision, purpose, and instruction. Those are the three things that God has given us: vision, purpose, and instruction. When I close this out every show, I don't just say these things just to be cliche, or just to be something just nice. I'm saying it because I'm saying it from the heart. Our purpose and our vision is so crucial and so important. If you don't know that now, if you have not learned that now, everybody talks about what's going on in the world. Everybody talks about this and all the divisiveness and the separation of this and how crazy things are being. But let me tell you something. If you're walking in your purpose and you're following your vision, this stuff don't bother you. If you follow the instruction that he has given you, this stuff don't bother you. See, because can't nobody take what's yours. Can't nobody take what is yours. If he has given it to you, it is yours. If he's made the promise to you, the promise shall be kept. But you got to do your part. I have to do my part. We got to walk in it. We have to walk in it. Because walking in our purpose unlocks the door for somebody else to walk in theirs. Following your vision unlocks the door for somebody else to follow theirs. Walk in it. Walk in it. Not going to say that the walk will be easy, but I'm going to tell you the walk is well worth
it. Absolutely.
And know this. And I'm going to use this from the stuff that's going on. You know, the U.S. talked about the AI and the chat GPT, but look, somebody else created something that's like it, but it ain't it. That's what I'm talking about. That's understanding how important you are. Somebody else may be like you, but they ain't you. They can't do exactly what you do. Only you can. So don't be out here worried about what they doing and jealous over there and looking at them. Walk in yours. And the wonderful things you will create by walking in yours. And know this is that we believe in you, we support you, and we encourage you. And we most definitely, as my co-host said, we are here to empower you. Because who would we be not to believe in what God has given you? That is us questioning him. And I ain't gonna do it. Nah, I ain't getting that one. I'm not finna question him and say, you didn't tell them they could do that. That ain't on me. Write the vision, make it plain. Write the vision, make it plain. And lastly, but not leastly, when you woke up this morning and you open your eyes, you cleaned out your ears and you tried to hear, but the country mouth and the country words were just not clear. And if you was rolling out there today, I don't know what it was. I don't know if it was hot, if it was cold, if it was rain. I ain't got a clue. I don't know. Mother Nature is bipolar right now. Well, in her bipolarness, if you was out there in the bipolarness of Houston and you didn't know what you was going to get, but you was trying to get the words, but you couldn't hear them because you didn't know if you wanted to put on a jacket, take off a jacket, put on a raincoat, take off a raincoat. You didn't know what you wanted to do. Put on some sweaters, put on some flip flop. If you didn't know what you wanted to do, well, here it is. We done went way over time, but here it is. 9:48. Houston time. On behalf of myself, the Louisiana Country Boy, and my co-host, the little Diva. When I tell you these words, I say it with my chest stuck out and a smile on my face. Just understand this. We love you. We love you. We love you. We love you. We love you and we love you unconditionally. And there ain't nothing, absolutely positively nothing.
You can do about it.
And one of these days, oh, you know what? Hold on, little David. Before we leave, I want to do one thing before we leave.
What's that?
You know, we started this thing about 2 years ago. About a year ago. So I'm going to do this before we leave. And these are the last words that would be coming out of our mouth, and we would say this, and we would say this good night. So I want to say, thank you, Heavenly Father, for this day. Thank you for your grace. Thank you for your mercy. Thank you for allowing us to be here. Thank you for your strength. Thank you for taking us through and bringing us to the other side. It is your grace. It is your mercy. And I say it is sufficient. I ask you to continue to watch over, to guide each and every one that is underneath the sound of my voice, that they know you are the way, the truth, and the light. And there's no other way but through you. I ask you to continue to give them wisdom, strength, and understanding, to watch over them as we close out tonight. Father, I ask you to stay in their hearts, stay in their minds, that they submit their ways unto you. I ask these prayers in your Son, Jesus' name. Amen.
Amen.
We out.
Good night, y'all.
She clicking the button. Oh, that's a new heart, huh? Is that a heart? That's